At age 20, Halle Berry was a beauty queen with Hollywood in her sights. In 1986, she won Miss Ohio USA and became runner-up at Miss USA. Her striking look and ambition soon led to early acting roles. Now 57, Halle Berry is an Oscar-winning star and action heroine. From Monsters Ball to X-Men and mainstream franchises, she shattered ceilings and redefined leading roles for women of color. At 20, Leonardo DiCaprio was Hollywood's rising heartthrob with raw talent and charisma. With What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Romeo and Juliet, he became a generation's icon of romantic depth and passion. Now 50, he's an Oscar winner, climate advocate, and film legend. From The Revenant to Inception. At 20, she was crowned Miss World 1994, a face the globe couldn't forget. Awarded for grace, intelligence, and screen presence, Aishwarya became the global face of Indian beauty. Now 50, she's an acclaimed actress, humanitarian, and international style icon. From Bollywood hits to appearances and advocacy, she bridges cultures with elegance. At age 20, Brad Pitt was a model with big screen potential. After modeling and bit parts, Thelma and Louise turned him into a breakout star in the late 80s. Now 60, he's an Oscar-winning actor and respected producer. Projects like Fight Club and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood illustrate his range and his influence on modern masculinity. At 20, she was a rising martial arts star in Hong Kong cinema. A former beauty queen turned stunt-savvy actress, she brought elegance and power to her roles. Now 61, she's an Oscar winner and global icon. From Crouching Tiger to Everything Everywhere All at Once, her career spans continents and genres. At age 20, he became the Fresh Prince, cool, clever, and breaking into stardom. On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, his charisma charmed audiences worldwide. Now 55, he's an Oscar-winning actor and pop culture icon. Whether in King Richard or Men in Black, he continues to reinvent himself while uplifting representation. At 20, J. Lo was dancing her way to fame in NYC. From Fly Girl on in Living Color to studio stages, her ambition propelled her into music and acting. Now 55, she's a global icon of entertainment and entrepreneurship. Singers, actresses, fashion lines, films, she's built an empire of influence and inspiration. At 20, Keanu Reeves was indie cool with quiet intrigue. Roles in River's Edge and early films showcased his understated presence. Now 59, he's a beloved action legend and symbol of kindness. From The Matrix to John Wick, his humility and consistency have earned him modern fandom and legacy. At 20, SRK was a TV actor with fire in his eyes. TV fame in India led to cinematic breakthrough with Deewana and blockbuster charm in Dil Wale Dulhania Le Jayenge. Now 58, he's known as the king of Bollywood across the globe. His enduring charisma, box office power, and cultural reach make him a force in entertainment worldwide. At age 20, Oprah was a small-town TV anchor with a big voice. Rising from adversity, she anchored local TV with authenticity in a male-dominated world. Now 70, she's a media mogul and philanthropist. From The Oprah Winfrey Show to OWN and global influence, she's led millions with empathy and empowerment. At age 20, Johnny Depp was a teenage rebel lighting up 21 Jump Street. His brooding teenager persona made him a dashing TV favorite and launched his film career. Now 61, Johnny is a cinematic chameleon. Roles like Edward Scissorhands and Jack Sparrow show his ability to transform while captivating audiences. At age 20, Julia starred in Mystic Pizza, debuting her iconic smile. Her charisma and warmth turned Pretty Woman into a sensation, and global stardom soon followed. Now 56, she's an Oscar-winning actor and cultural heartthrob. Whether in comedy or drama, she remains one of the most beloved and bankable performers of her generation. At 20, Tom Cruise broke out with Risky Business. His on-screen magnetism and energy turned him into a Hollywood standout in the early 1980s. Now 62, he's a global action star and movie producer. Known for Top Gun, Mission Impossible, and performing his own stunts, his drive for excellence remains unmatched. At age 20, Sandra was a young actress taking her first steps in film. From fixture in commercials and small roles, she waited patiently for her breakout. Now 60, she's Hollywood's sweetheart with range. From speed to gravity, her charm, talent, and depth have shaped a career of heartfelt stories. At 20, Salma was starring in Mexican telenovelas. Her commanding presence in Latin TV became her stepping stone to Hollywood. Now 57, she's an Oscar-nominated actress and producer. From Frida to Savages, she's built bridges for Latinx representation in global cinema. At 20, George Clooney was a struggling TV actor finding small roles. Before ER made him a household name, he paid his dues through minor roles in the late 1970s. Now 63, he's an award-winning actor, director, and humanitarian. From Syriana to Gravity and activism in Darfur, his career has blended art and advocacy. At age 20, Madonna arrived in NYC seeking artistic freedom. She transitioned from dancer to pop provocateur with Holiday and Like a Virgin, redefining music and identity. Now 65, she's the ultimate pop provocateur. Her reinvention, boundary-pushing visuals, and cultural impact make her a feminist icon of modern music. At 20, Angelina was a model-turned-actor breaking into indie film. Her bold presence in Girl, Interrupted showcased both vulnerability and edge. Now 49, she's a global icon in film and humanitarian work. From playing Lara Croft to her UN work, she's an Oscar winner whose influence spans media and activism. At 20, Amitabh was unknown long before Bollywood fame. He took minor roles in the late 1960s before rising as Bollywood's angry young man in the 70s. Now 81, he's the living legend of Indian cinema. With an enormous body of work and iconic status, he spans generations and continents. At age 20, Kate was a rising actress in Australia's theatre scene. Her precision and presence on stage forecasted her future cinematic triumphs. Now 55, she's one of the most respected actors in the world. From Elizabeth Tatar, she blends blockbuster appeal with arthouse depth. At 20, Naomi was shaking fashion's foundations as a supermodel. Her runway dominance in the 90s made her one of the first black faces in global high fashion. Now 54, she's a beauty and business icon. Her influence on fashion, philanthropy, and representation remains powerful and necessary. At 20, Denzel had just graduated from Yale Drama. He began in TV before delivering unforgettable impact roles in film's golden moments. Now 69, he's an Oscar-winning acting and directing legend. From Training Day to Fences, he inwardly transforms roles with depth and dignity. At age 20, Meryl was a Juilliard graduate on the brink of greatness. Her classical training gave way to intense emotional performances that would define her career. Now 75, she's regarded as one of the greatest actors alive. Her range, from Sophie's Choice to The Iron Lady, makes her an enduring force in cinema. At age 20, Nicole Kidman was an emerging Australian actress. Her early work in Aussie film and TV paved the way for breakout roles in Hollywood. Now 57, she's an Oscar winner and prestigious screen presence. From Moulin Rouge to Big Little Lies, she's mastered both blockbuster and nuanced drama. At 20, Pierce was a model-turned-actor who carried Bond potential. He tested the waters in TV and film before inheriting the 007 role. Now 71, he's admired for his polished charm and diverse roles. Whether in James Bond or dramatic pieces, his gravitas and elegance endure. At 20, Kate had just filmed Heavenly Creatures, pre-Titanic fame. Her early intensity and subtlety marked her as a rare acting talent. Now around 48, closer to 50, she's an Oscar winner and fearless actress. From Titanic to Mayor of Easttown, she's a transformative presence on screen. At age 20, Cher was a folk pop voice alongside Sonny Bono. Her dramatic glamour and singer identity stood out even in early career stages. Now 78, she's the goddess of pop, still breaking molds. From music to film to fashion, she continues a legacy of fearless reinvention. At 20,